have huge levels of potential in our organization, and often we don't really capitalize on that potential that they have. I sometimes think that maybe, why do we call HR departments human resources? Maybe we should call them HP departments, departments of human potentials, because the reality is we should look at our people as if they are potential, and most people, their potential is actually quite limited. They will often work within their comfort zones. Sometimes you call it the performance zone. It's the zone that you can perform at, and it's very, very limited, because most people, their limitations are based on their beliefs around what they can and can't do. So therefore they don't do some things because they don't believe in it. They lack confidence in certain things. They lack skills in certain things, which prevents them from performing at a higher level. They sometimes don't have the resources around them, or how to get, or where to get those resources from. But the reality is every one of us has huge levels of potential, probably potential that we'll never utilize in a lifetime, never really exploit it. And when we as leaders see our people as people with that potential, and we help them grow into that potential, taking away those limitations, giving them the confidence, helping them develop the skills and the capability to work on some of the things or some of the projects that were previously outside of their comfort zone, those type of companies are often more successful, and those type of leaders are often more successful. So just imagine, instead of a few leaders solving problems, working through those challenges, if we really did support people to grow their potential, just think about the effect that that would have on businesses. And I think a big part of that lies within the leaders of an organization. Now, Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi wrote a very clever book in the late 1990s, early 2000s, and it was called Flow. And according to Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, he said we have a flow state, and in this state, it's an experience in which a person performing some activity is fully immersed in that activity. There's a level of challenge there. They're feeling engaged and completely focused, full involvement, and there's even a level of enjoyment, even though they're stretching themselves constantly in that particular activity. And in essence, the flow is characterized by the absorption of what someone does, because they're completely engrossed in it, resulting in a transformation in one's sense of time. Now, he talked about a number of different features around this flow model. He talked about people having clear goals and targets, the ability to get immediate feedback on your progress, to the balance between challenge and the skills and the support to actually push through that discomfort zone, as it were. They have an action and an awareness merged together, so they lose a feeling of time. Time sort of, it almost seems like it stands still. They don't have any anxiety around failure, and their self-consciousness disappears. So they don't feel that they lack confidence around certain things, and their sense of time is distorted. And intrinsically, it's very, very motivating. Now, if you look at the model, what I've tried to draw on here is a way of describing it and how we might look at it through a leadership's eyes. So on the left, the axis of challenge, and on the bottom axis, the axis of skills and support. Now imagine if we were to give somebody a huge challenge that was way, way outside of their comfort zone. How do you think they're likely to feel? What do you think? Write in the chat how you think somebody might feel if they were way out of their comfort zone around a challenge. Definitely fear. Yes, they're definitely going to feel uncomfortable about a couple of things. So they're going to feel that that this activity that's going on is quite uncomfortable for them. Hang on, something's stopping working on my things. Yeah, there'll be levels of stress there. There'll be some fear. There'll be some anxiety, and I call this the panic zone. It's taken you so far out of your comfort zone that, in actual fact, we can freeze sometimes. But if you put it the other way and look at the bottom axes, imagine if we gave somebody so many skills that they didn't really use them, and then we gave them so much support to the point where we're actually solving their problems for them. We would have almost the opposite effect of that. So we'd get people who were complacent about their role. There'd be a level of apathy there. There'd be a level of boredom. And we call this the comfort zone. And as you can see in the middle, there's a piece in the middle that doesn't really have anything labeled on it yet. And this is the zone that Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi called it the flow zone. And it's actually really what we would call the discomfort zone. What I mean by that, it's the zone or the flow channel where most of our growth actually happens. But sometimes we have to be helped to be taken out there, taken out of our comfort zone. And there's quite a number of programs on TV. If anyone's ever heard of the guy by the name of Wim Hof, he's doing a program in the UK at the moment about how to get into freezing cold water. And it's a lot of it is managing your own brain and the way that you think about things. And you know, a lot of that can happen. And leaders have a lot to play in helping people step outside of the comfort zone so they can stretch themselves a little bit. And I think really, if you are going to give somebody a great challenge, you've then got to have a structure that increases the level of support or gives them the level of skills. And you can do that through coaching. Or by the reverse, if we give people a lot of skills, the first thing we should do when they come back from training courses is put them into a challenge that takes them into their discomfort zone so they can practice those particular skills and develop themselves. And this is where I think as leaders, we are taking people in and out of their comfort zone and their stretch zone so that they can actually develop, and they're developing skills and capabilities to perform at a higher level.